Bestie, let's make a grocery list together. I know it can be super hard and overwhelming to even know where to start if you're somebody who's new to cooking at home, new to maybe meal prepping or ingredient prepping. So I'm gonna show you how I make my grocery list to find a way to keep variety in my diet, but also have consistent foods that I know benefit me and help me hit my goals. So first things first is I'm a little crazy. So I write my grocery list in the order of the grocery store I'm going to. But what I want to do with you guys is to write your grocery list starting with the foundations of your meals. So categories that we're going to break our grocery list into is going to be proteins. It's going to be fruits and vegetables. And then we're going to have carb sources for our meals as well, snacks and desserts. And then of course, you're always gonna have other random stuff, but that's what's important for our meal prep, okay? So, and we can add sauces in there too. So what we're gonna do first is pull up the notes on your iPhone or your whatever phone you have. Pull up the notes because this will always be with you, right? You'll always have your phone with you wherever you're going. You'll have it at the grocery store, you'll have it at home, you'll have it when you're in the car driving from place A to B and you remember, oh crap, we need eggs. So pull it up on your phone. I know the paper list, but do you remember it, girl? Do you remember to take the list? Okay, so start with proteins at the top of my list. So that way I know I'm prioritizing getting protein in each and every meal. So I'm gonna write protein up there and then I'm going to start a bullet point list. So the first thing I'm gonna think of when I'm thinking of protein is breakfast. What am I going to have for protein in my breakfast this week, okay? And for me, I know it's gonna be yogurt. So I'm gonna write yogurt on the list, okay? Add some emojis if you wanna make it fun, make it exciting, do what you please. So now I'm thinking, okay, I have breakfast, so I'm gonna have yogurt. And then I'm thinking, okay, for lunch, what do I wanna have? Okay, for lunch, I'm really feeling some chicken tacos, something light, something that would make me feel good throughout the week. I could also do chicken and rice. Another protein source for dinner, so I want to do, tenderloin steaks. So now I have 3 meals and 3 protein sources for the whole week. Does that mean I have to eat those protein sources every single day this week at that meal? No. Okay, this is what we're going to do. The next thing we're going to do is carbs. So a lot of times we think of carbs as the foundation of our meal after protein. So think about it. You either have potatoes, rice, bread, quinoa, there's lentils, beans, there's all sorts of things that are mainly carb sources. So we want to start with carbs. So let's go to the yogurt and you want to make sure that a good majority of your carbs are coming from fruits and vegetables so you get some fiber from them. So in my yogurt, I really like to put kiwis and dates. So I'm just going to write them both on there because while we're writing this, we also want to get about 4 to 5 fruits and about 3 veggies. And then if I'm thinking about those chicken tacos or chicken and rice, I'm thinking I would really like some tomatoes and cucumbers in there. And then I already have rice, but if you needed rice, you would want to write that on your list, or maybe you could write it on the list but keep it marked so that you don't need it, but you can refer back to it when you go to meal prep your ingredients. And then tenderloins, I also really like to eat, and then I forgot tortillas. So tortillas, corn tortillas will have some fiber in them. The carb balanced tortillas will have some fiber in them. And then, so now I know I'm gonna have like tortillas and rice with my chicken. What's another carb source that I could throw in the mix with all of this? Potatoes. I like potatoes with tenderloin. I like potatoes with chicken. Done. And then I need another vegetable for dinner. So let's do zucchini. I like zucchini. And you just pick one, okay? What vegetable, what fruit haven't you had in a little bit? Which ones are your favorite? Which ones are in season? And just pick one, okay? Food can be complex and that's beautiful, but it doesn't have to be complex. There's a lot of benefit to simply eating and eating simply, okay? Hashtag. And now we want to just make sure that we do have some fat sources, some healthy fat sources. So I do have a guide on what fats are what, and I'll put it in the description below. Some fat sources I prefer to keep on hand is avocados and nuts. So I'm gonna make sure I always have avocados and nuts, whether I still have a bag of nuts in the pantry or whether I do still have avocados. I'm gonna write it on my list and kind of maybe like grab a little bit just to have those in stock. As you get more used to keeping food in your fridge, you'll know what food goes bad and what food doesn't. So you can always have extra of the ones that don't go bad and then, you know, play it safe with the stuff that does go bad. So fats, avocados, nuts. Other fat sources you might want to keep on hand, especially for, you know, cooking, would be olive oil, coconut oil, butter, things of that type. And then I'm trying to think of another fat source, peanut butter. So I always put peanut butter in my yogurt. So if we start at the beginning for breakfast, I would have thought, okay, you know, for breakfast I'm having yogurt with kiwis or dates, and then I have a fat source in it, peanut butter. Bam. Okay. With the chicken tacos or the chicken and rice, I could definitely add some avocado in that. And, you know, for my tenderloins and zucchini, I don't necessarily need a fat source there because my tenderloin will have some fat, some good fat feeling, and I can maybe add butter on top. Okay, so currently we have proteins with its checklist, carbs with its checklist, and fat with its checklist, okay? And here's the thing, we can mix and match all of these things. It doesn't have to be exactly what we come up with now, but because we're, you know, thinking about the meals we could make, everything will be cohesive in the list, and you can mix and match. Mix and match is the name of the game, okay? We want variety, but we want simplicity. We want to hit our goals, but we don't want to be bored trying to do so. And then another thing I would really think about on here is snacks. So snacks are going to be, you know, foods that you enjoy to help you hit your calorie goal, or they're going to be things full of protein or fiber to help you hit those two really important goals. So some snacks that I always keep on hand is jerky or like beef sticks. I also like to have apples, so I'm going to need apples. And then personally, I would go and reorganize this list in the order of my grocery store, but you can organize it by like produce, whatever, however you need to. But this is a meal prep grocery list. And then what other snacks do I have? I already wrote down nuts for fat sources, so that's another snack. Chocolate chips could be something you mix with your nuts to help with dessert, which is our next bullet point. Some other snacks you guys might like are chips. I love having chips on hand, just something fun, something, you know, exciting to eat. You could also have yogurt as a snack if that's not what you chose for breakfast. Parmesan cheese is a great protein and fat source. You could have that with crackers, you could have that with tomato, you could have that with whatever. So any fruits and vegetables, keep your snacks something light and actually beneficial to you. If you aren't eating it because it has fiber, if you aren't eating it because it has good fats, if you aren't eating it because it has protein, and you're not eating it because you absolutely love the food that you're eating, that it makes you so happy when you eat it, you don't need it, okay? If you're just eating it to eat it because it's okay and you don't know what else to eat, just don't eat that, okay? You should either really, really love it or your body should really, really love it. Okay, so that's a little bit about snacks. Pick what you want. And then desserts. So this I like personally to leave open, and this is what I can kind of like wander the store and pick randomly. So giving myself some area to explore and pick something with, you know, impulse. I like to leave it for the dessert, okay? You could do it with something else on your list. Maybe you pick a new snack, all right? And you just don't plan ahead for it. You just pick it, you know, have a little spontaneity in there, but you planned. So I like to leave dessert open. Pick a dessert, okay? Just pick a dessert. If you don't like a sweet treat, then don't have a sweet treat, okay? But if you like a sweet treat, you can have a sweet treat for dessert every single day. Just plan for it. Track it in your macros. Make sure it does align with your goals. Make sure it doesn't make you feel like shit. Again, make sure you're eating this dessert because you actually really love it, or because you're making a healthy decision picking whatever the dessert is, and it will honor your body and your goals, and in the end, make you feel good. So I like to leave dessert empty here on my grocery list. Again, go ahead, feel free with emojis and whatnot if you want to make it cute. We have proteins up top, carbs, fat. Things that you also might need to do, bonus, is sauces. Your meal prep is only as good as your sauce, okay? True story. Your meal prep is only as good as your sauces. Some of my favorites, Frank's Hot, okay? Frank is hot, okay? Frank's Hot, balsamic, okay, that's slept on, balsamic vinegar, not the syrup stuff, okay? Balsamic vinegar, Barbecue, there's so many different flavors of barbecue out there, you can never get bored. Learn to love barbecue sauce and you'll never get bored, seriously. Soy sauce, and then there's a ton more. So got soy sauce, and then there's a ton more sauces, but those are some of my favorites. So I just keep that on the list. I think that's a spelling error. So sauces at the bottom of the list. And it's really that simple, everybody. Maybe pick up one of your favorite drinks. Again, if you like soda, plan ahead for the soda, okay? Because even if you're drinking too much soda, when you start tracking and you start trying to fit it in your goals, you'll notice that you would have felt better, you would have felt fuller longer, you would have felt more energized, you wouldn't have had a sugar crash if instead of having that Pepsi, you had maybe a banana and chocolate. I promise you. So don't worry about, don't worry about restricting certain things that you think you can't live without, okay? Track yourself to help you find moderation, and let me know if you want a macro tracking tips and tricks video. If this type of content is helpful for you in your fitness journey as well, I would love, 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 love if you like this video. Subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the other ones, and leave a comment of something maybe you want to see in the future. Okay,